Alright, I'm going to try to start this frame notch. Do one side at a time so I don't make it flex weird or something. They definitely give you way too much material on this piece, but you just have to trim it up afterwards. Man, this thing does not fit very good. What the heck? It's good though about here. I might just tack it and then cut this and move it down. Look at this. It's a huge gap. Yeah. I did pretty good cutting it there. Except this doesn't fit. Cool. Get that tacked in. And then cut the back off of it and reposition it. Alright, I got the notch kit all done on both sides. I did have to cut it right here to make it fit because it was coming up way too high. I'm not sure what that's all about, but I took quite a bit out, you guys. I'm not sure what that would end up being for an actual measurement, but maybe a little bit, maybe like an inch, maybe a little more. And I also patched the soft spots just with, I got some 1/8 inch stuff, I think, and then when I was cutting it out, this stuff is only like 16 gauge where it's good, so I put 16 gauge back in it to keep a little weight out of it instead of doing that 1/8 inch stuff. Patch there, and then same thing on this side. I just hit it with the flap wheel to give it some texture so I can throw some paint on it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to throw some paint on it, and then I've got to get one more body mount washer to fix this. It's a little soft here. And then I'll have to make some flanges for the bumper bracket because these are just tore up too bad. I'm just going to hack them right off instead of trying to weld them and patch them together, especially this side's really bad. So yeah, I'm gonna throw some paint on, and then maybe the next thing you guys will see is me doing those bumper brackets. So I'll paint it up, you guys. Got the chute mount on there, my new plates, welded on real nice. And I didn't wait to get a washer for this. I just ended up taking a piece of 16 gauge and stamping it out on my shear here, and then hole sawed a 1.5 inch hole through it to get that body mount patched up. So now I'm thinking I need to bolt some stuff on this thing to make it kind of a roller so I can move it around a little easier now that she's all painted up. And you know, I got some bracing to do still. I'll have to grind some of this paint off and do some bracing here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty much at the point where I can make it be rolling. Which brings me to this table with all this good stuff. So what I'm gonna do is, I found out, because I got the coil over upper and lower arms, this is the conversion for the upper, so the coilover can bolt in. I didn't know that I gotta cut this piece off both sides so that this can go in here and be welded up, and then I gotta paint it. So I'm not out of the clear yet with painting and stuff. So I'm gonna switch over to the GoPro for now, and you guys can watch me cut the mounts off, and I'll weld those in, slap a little paint on them, and then start bolting on the front end stuff to get this thing rolling. This thing sucks. I'm not using it. I'll have to save that for tin foil or something. I don't know. Get this bad Larry going here. Alright, I got that pocket all cut out here and the stuff ground off that was in the way. A couple vice grips holding that coil over mount in there. So I'm going to tack weld it in a couple spots. This is all welded on there, boys. So I think I'm going to let it cool down, and I'm going to start on the other side so then I can throw some paint on this while it's not so hot. And then after that, I can weld the other side and then start putting on our new fancy parts. All painted up and welded. Let this stuff dry a little bit. I'm going to work on putting the lower control arms because that's all dry down there, and then get the front end together. I got the stuff mocked up in there, you guys. I definitely need to go grab some hardware to do it all correctly, but just to see if it all fits and works. I gotta grab one bolt for the lower caliper bracket because the one that came with it is way too long. This stuff is new to me, but used as far as the brake kit goes. Like it just got rolled around, he said. It never really saw any use. I mean, you can kind of tell from the pads it's never been... They look new, they're just been getting dusty. I'm pretty happy with how it all fits though. It looks pretty cool. I wish I had the hardware to do it all right now, but I'm gonna throw the wheels on the front with the aluminum lug nuts I bought and then set it down and see what the length on these little mock-up struts ends up being for a ride height. Guys, she's sitting on 2. It's on the lift in the back. I don't have the rear axle under it yet, but I'm gonna work on that this weekend. The strut length, the little mock-up struts they're actually pretty close on length. I'm gonna have, right now, I've got the rear where I want it to be sitting for the frame height, and it's like got a 1/4 of an inch rake downhill towards the front, so that's pretty good. I do think it'll end up being a little bit lower than this in the front. But it's cool to see it sitting on somewhat of a suspension in the front now. It looks awesome. I got these guys they're just leaning up against the frame in the back. Those rear tires. Yeah, so I'm gonna clean up a little bit. The shop is a disaster right now. I even had to raid the bolt bucket. Look at that thing. It's like Legos when I was 5 years old. So yeah, you guys, thanks for watching this video, and I will keep you posted as usual. Episode number 5. Already been 5 weeks, I can't believe it, since we drove it inside and started on it. Not gonna be too much longer here before I have to get back on this stupid rusty body, because once this thing's rolling, I'm gonna have to get it ready. Start doing the cage and stuff and the wheel tubs. Cool, thanks guys. Till next time, see ya.